Come on in. Come on in. Thank you guys for tuning in to another segment of Delta Sip, where we sip slow and talk what we know. You are looking at the screen right here, and this is Miss Shaquita Wilson Johnson. She is having an event. Um, it's called an informed discussion for the community, women leading, Delta Women Empowerment Lunching. And there's going to be a panel of people, and that will be Sunday, October the 15th, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. The Mike Magazine will be in the building. And they have a keynote speaker, Wakenya Clanton. So please mark your calendars, put this on your calendar. They are trying to empower the women in the Mississippi Delta area, and it is again a lunching. And so you can inbox Miss Shaquita Wilson Johnson if you need more information. Again, mark your calendar. Again, welcome to the update. Angela Buckman here. I am just so, I don't want to say flabbergasted. I dare not say flabbergasted. Thank you guys so much for tuning back in with me. And I want to take this time right now to say, for those who don't like this platform and what we do over here, you can take that opportunity right now to unfollow me. You ain't got to follow me, right? Do your own platform. Go over there, make your comments over there. Listen, but I do want to make sure that I educate the people and let them know there have been some rumors going around, right? And please share this, because I want to dispel these rumors. We need to continue to call a spade a spade. Let's not get distracted, people. I don't understand why, when we are saying that there is a breach in safety, that the narrative is seemingly changed. First of all, there was a correspondence that crossed my desk today, and it came from the school district to the parents, if I'm not mistaken. But I just want to say this. You are already a day late. You are a day late and $1 short. I don't know who's advising you all, but there should have been a press conference yesterday. There should have been a press release yesterday. The parents should have had an opportunity to pick their children up yesterday. There is still no talk about alleged weapons at the middle school, because I'm told that, they are so busy celebrating that they will willfully not educate or inform the general public, community stakeholders, and the parents about so-called weapons on campus. We just smooth on past that and send out a text message and say it's all y'all fault. It's all y'all fault. Because when I read it, that's what I read. How is it the fault of the parents? See, we got to keep this thing in perspective. What you're not going to do is sit there and not own up to the fact that there was a breach in safety, a breach in security. And no, there is not a chief. I did confirm that information. There's no chief. There's no chief. So all of these lies and things of that magnitude, unless they got one today, and there's no press conference, no press release, no nothing, to my knowledge, saying that there is one who has replaced the one who's no longer there. There's no chief. We must call a spade a spade. Let's not get carried away here, people. What you're not going to do is point fingers at the parents. You're not going to do that. Why is it that the parents were able to get on the campus? I got video of other people getting on campus. There's a breach in safety and security that needs to be talked about. Now, there was this long, drawn out message that I don't even care to read, because to me, it was very unprofessional and ghetto, to say the least. When I say that message was ghetto, listen, we are going to say what we're going to say. I don't know who's advising you all. I don't even know who agreed to put that message out to the parents. But what it says to me is, we ain't taking the blame for nothing. It's all y'all fault in the community. It's all y'all fault. No, we're going to keep this thing right here in perspective. And we're going to continue to talk about, where's your chief? There's allegations that the chief resigned. So my question now becomes this: if and when you get someone to replace the former chief, will that be the new fall guy? It's allegations that the chief was not even able to be the chief because the superintendent ran the day-to-day operations. These are some strong allegations. Now, and this comes from the community. If you go and get another one today, will these allegations still be out there that the superintendent is going to run that facet of law enforcement? Because to my understanding, if you hire someone to serve in the capacity as a chief, please, if you're wanting to leave comments, let me tell you, I would love to see your comments, but you have to leave them on the Mike Magazine professional page. You cannot leave those comments on the personal page, or you can leave them on the YouTube channel. Okay, that's our backup channel. You can leave those comments on the YouTube channel for those who are not on Facebook, or you can leave them right here on the professional page for the Mike Magazine. Why is it that word on the street that when the superintendent talks about the board, she calls it her board? I don't know. I don't be around the superintendent. I don't. And then they say, oh, they're trying to find out if the Mike Magazine stepped foot on campus. When I tell you the Mike Magazine is the least of your worries, there's a breach in safety. And the school district on yesterday failed the parents. Why do you say that, Angie Simpson? Why do you say that? Because what's your plan? How do the parents and the community check in to come on your campus? What's your plan? Why is it that you're so shocked? You're not shocked. And a lot of people are still thinking that, on yesterday, they got the chief back and this and that. I heard all of those rumors. I heard them all. Listen at this. Thank you for weighing in. Deborah Brock said, she sure does. This is scary. She sure does refer to it as her board. Heard it myself. People, why would the superintendent feel that comfortable? That comfortable calling the board her board. It ought not be. Because when you have somebody else who says they want to run for the position, now it reeks of, let me question the integrity of the next election. Let me question the integrity. See, these are just allegations, but there's some strong ones. It's no way now, because I'm told you said it to the board of supervisors in Sunflower County, and that there's money out there that you guys continue to beg for, that you think that you're owed, that you're supposed to have, you and your board. But where's the money going? So I just want to get on here and dispel some rumors, okay? There's no chief. Nobody came back as of today. There's a breach in safety. What you're not going to do is sit there and lay this at the feet of the community and gloat about having a B. You're not gonna listen. You say you gotta be. You need to be more aware of the security and the safety of the students. We wouldn't even be here. Speaking of a B, we wouldn't even be here if you had been somewhere in the vicinity where you can have security resources, those resource officers in place at those entry points, exit points, proper security in place. We wouldn't, since we're talking about a B, we wouldn't be here. You're not going to point your finger at the parents. That's what you're not going to do. See, we got to keep this thing in perspective, because if we allow the powers that be to get this thing all convoluted, we'll be at each other. That's not what it's about. It's about, hey, we're going to own up to this. We did wrong. I will be frank about us messing up. Let me be clear. It was our fault, since we're talking about the B. And then I can go on a little bit further based on the data from the state. Okay, Mississippi Department of Education. This B that you're talking about, explain to us how that B got there. Is it that you went back to the pre-COVID setting? Huh? Did you really achieve anything? Because based on what I saw, based on the Mississippi Department of Education data, your babies are not even ready for college. They don't understand what this data is saying. I'm going to put it out there. Based on the state of Mississippi, a lot of them are not even ready to go to college. Let's be clear, since we're talking about the B. Huh? Let's be honest. You're not going to put this at the feet of the parents. Yes, something happened on yesterday. Yes, it needs to be dealt with, but let's be clear. Where was your security? Where were your school resource officers? Where? Let's answer that. Nothing in the correspondence on today, which is a day late, nothing in there saying, hey, we dropped the ball. Nothing in there said, let's be honest with the community stakeholders. Nothing in there about that. You're not going to blame this on the parents. What you saw was a symptom of something that had been brewing, because there's a breach in safety. There's a breach in safety. It never should have been able to happen under your leadership, on your watch. Yes, something happened yesterday. And guess what? Oh, yeah, I didn't even talk about it yesterday. My concern is this: safety. Why is it that it happened on your campus, on your watch? Why are you leaving out certain information? Seems like this is a public relations stunt to paint yourself pretty because of a bee. Let's be clear. Let's be honest. We're talking about this bee, right? You're not going to, not over here on this platform. When I saw that foolishness, you pointed the finger at somebody else, knowing full well there's not a chief. And it's a mandate. It's mandatory that you have one. I truly believe an investigation needs to be done. These are results of a breach of safety. If the children felt safe, we would not have these symptoms. We wouldn't. What you're not going to do, superintendent and board, is take it upon yourselves to put together oh, it's your fault correspondence through school status and send it out to the community. We're not buying it. We are not buying that. They never should have been able to get on the campus. What plan did you have in place other than allegedly trying to run the day-to-day operation of law enforcement? And from what I gather, you're supposed to go to some type of training, according to the experts who I talked to on my panel. You're supposed to go to somebody's academy, according to, or you're just gonna piggyback off of those credentials and run it. There's some strong allegations. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's be clear, since we're talking about a bee. You mean to tell me, not yesterday, didn't say, hey, parents, you have the option to come get these children. I still ain't seen a correspondence from yesterday. Huh? You need to call a spade a spade. Let's be upfront with the people. Let's be clear. Because we have some issues here. Houston, we have a problem. And I cannot say Uvalde enough. There is a breach in safety. There's a breach in safety. When that Uvalde thing was going on, there are stories out there of fathers who said that they were willing to go and try to get their own children. Why? There was a breach. Y'all better hear me what I'm saying. You better listen to me. If I feel like that school is not protecting my child and they're not in an environment conducive to learning, the next thing I know to do is try to go and help my child. We had a chief who wouldn't allow any outside agencies to go in and help those babies. But as a parent, it got down to the wire. And the inevitable happened to those children. Parents who won't forgive themselves because they were not even able to help their own children. But you send out a correspondence pointing your finger at the parents when you know full doggone well there was a breach in safety. This is serious. This is serious. Listen. Oh my God. To confirm that the person who resigned is no longer there speaks volumes. Is the next person going to be there as a fall guy? I'm just asking. These are some good questions, but I doubt that they will get an answer, a professional one. I'll say that. Because to send out a correspondence blaming parents is wrong. We all have a job. We all have a role. But when the powers that be don't own up and say we dropped the ball, we should be paying our school resource officers more than $28,000. We should be paying them more than $25,000. We should be giving our bus drivers, our cooks. These people have to be there way before you even think about touching down on a campus, if that's where you want to be that day. We're talking about somebody who takes a truck home at their own leisure and don't even live in the same county, according to what I'm hearing. Now, could have an apartment now in Sunflower County. I don't know. I don't follow these people. All I know is what I'm told, and these are some strong allegations. But to sit there and say that's your board speaks volumes, because, again, I have a video I want to play in just a second. And in this video, see, yesterday I talked about the baby who was kicked in the back of the head, right? But I'm going to show you where I spoke to the board personally as a community stakeholder and as a reporter. And look, I want you guys to pay attention to the body language. And it goes back to this comment where Ms. Deborah Brock says she sure does refer to it as her board. Heard it myself. Pay attention to the body language of what you're about to see. I am just up there talking. That's it. We're just going to wait. This is my observation, in my opinion. We're just going to wait for her to get done talking and move on with business as usual. I can't make this up. Meet your board and your superintendent, for those who don't know.
Parents are reaching out to me, and also not just as a journalist, but as a stakeholder in the community, to find out that a lot of students didn't go to school today was heartbreaking. I understand that the parents are saying that they're not going to send the students the rest of the week. I have people come to me, and last school term, I had a parent to speak to me and say that her child was kicked in the back of the head. So the student was allowed a hearing, and it broke my heart. I hear Dr. Davis speaking with so much passion, but to pull up to her central office and see her leaving in her truck, that was heartbreaking. Okay. And also the parent informed me today that she has still not reached out. I know she's saying she's easily accessible, but she is still not checked on the welfare of the child who had been kicked in the back of the head from last year. Now, majority of the people who are having a problem, normally they're talking about the principal. I don't know who recommended for him to be the principal a new school year, but whoever recommended him felt that he was capable enough to do the job. And I don't know why, but we still have the same superintendent who is having the same issues that have yet to be rectified. And as a community stakeholder, it is heartbreaking to know that we're coming off the cusp of Uvalde, okay? And like the parent said a minute ago, is not going to bring them back. And I don't know if we should recommend take your parent to school with you day. I don't know what should be recommended. But I understand you're saying you're here for the parents. We do need to do this. We do need to do that. Okay, so I don't know what is going on, but what I would like to know is, moving forward, what do you plan to do? And is he still going to be the principal?
Now, usually in a case like this, there will probably be like a non-renewal, right? For something like that. A principal who had, and this story went viral. Pay attention to the body language. They didn't care what I had to say. Didn't care. Brought that same principle back. I have a comment here from Angie Estes Kitchen. Says, this was posted by Alexis Hamilton on your personal page live feed. If you have any questions concerning the maintenance of a safe, orderly, or disciplined school environment in any of Mississippi's public schools, you may reach us at 601 359 1028. Let me put that number out there. Thank you so much. Angie is also a journalist over the Mississippi Republic Free Press. Please go and follow her. This is another journalist. It's not just me paying attention to what's going on. I am about to post this phone number for parents and community stakeholders alike. What you won't do, what you're not going to do, is point the finger at the parents. You're not going to do that. I saw the correspondence. I did. But is that fair? Is it right to do the parents that way? 601 359 1028. And there's also an email address. Said non-emergencies can also be reported by email at schoolsafety@mdek12.org. Listen, you don't ever know who's out there watching. You don't know. But people care. It's people concerned about these babies. I'm sorry. They are very concerned. And not just the children, but the parents as well. A parent should never have to feel like there's an urgency to go up there and do anything. Because security, and then the school district should be so intertwined and engaged with their students that they know if there's something about to happen. Oh, man. Mm-mm. I am posting this number. Give me just a second here. Parents, do not allow the district to put this at your feet. There was a breach in safety. And if I was a parent, I'd sue them. I would sue you. I would get other parents and we would get a class action lawsuit against you. This is me now. I would sue the pants off of this school district. Why? You don't have a chief. And didn't have one the day that this happened. Show me that you had a chief the day that this incident happened. Man, I would sue the pants. I would get me a good lawyer and we would all come for you. We would come for you. You can report those safety concerns to MDE 601 359 1028. Thank you, Angie Estes. Now, I'm going to play the second half of the video. Watch this.
Moving forward, what do you plan to do? And is he still going to be the principal? Because I'm hearing parents say they don't feel the principal. You said, well, whether he's in the bathroom or in his car or whatever, you know, right before, if you know that when you roll those cameras back, okay, that the cameras show an exact time or a definite time as to when these fights are starting, why not place somebody there right then? Unless that's just not a part of, you know, the contract. I don't know who you're hiring and how you're hiring them, but sounds like to me the district has failed the parents and the students. And that's as a community stakeholder. But as a journalist, to see what happened in Uvalde, and we could possibly have that to happen here. We were on the news. We were on the news this evening at 5 o'clock. That's heartbreaking. And if a parent called me, I am going to follow the story down to the T, because they deserve to be heard. They don't have attorneys like the school board. They don't have attorneys on hand. And I don't understand why the board would continue to bring in people who have failed the north end of Sunflower County School District. But I just want to say shame on you. And I'm done.
Now, that was in 2022. Why would the board, if a baby was kicked in the back of her head by another boy, by a little boy, right? Why would you all say, hey, let's recommend and bring them back? And the parent said, superintendent never checked on that baby. Went out on a sour note for that school year. Here it is, a new school year. Hey, I'm told now that you never, I know you say you're easily accessible and you know, you have all these great off the cuff remarks. And I'm sitting here and I believe you. They don't believe you. I have observed you. And I know I sat there and I watched you during the time of the hearing for that baby. I watched you take off in your truck. I cried about it. I went live about it. I cried about it. You sent the parent and that child into a hearing with your people to no avail. I sat there and I cried as I watched you pull out in that truck. And to think that you call the board your board, allegedly, that speaks volumes. Yes, something happened yesterday. It did. But can you show me, as of yesterday, where your chief was? Honey, I would get an attorney. And if I was one of the parents involved, I would sue the district for breach in safety. I would sue you. They have grounds to sue. They still have grounds to sue, in my opinion. I would take it to the courts. Where's your chief? Where was your chief yesterday? And then to get a text message the next day, all looking down your noses, talking about there's a B rating. Be honest. Be honest. The school district, I say it again, failed the students yesterday, and they failed the parents. Why do I say that? Because it should have been some type of standard operating procedure in place. The chief should have been the one to show up to something of that magnitude. No chief. Look, if I was an attorney, if I was a parent, I would get an attorney. I would. I wouldn't just take nothing like this laying down. You gotta call a spade a spade. Why was it able to go on? You sit there and say, we got to, then at the end gonna say, we got to do better. What? Wow. There's no way we're going to allow you to change the narrative, because I'm sitting here knowing that Uvalde could happen. God forbid. God forbid. It's confirmed you didn't have a chief yesterday. And listen, the people of Collins say you didn't even have any SROs on the campus yesterday. I don't know. Y'all so worried about if I was on your campus. I was not. I'm just telling you what they're telling me. And when I'm talking to people who know things, they are confirming. Just got to come in. Davis needs to stay in her place and let the chief be the chief. I'm telling you, people are commenting. They are coming cross. That's too much micromanagement. If you didn't, even if you did get certified to be whatever that you have hired them to be, do you not trust them enough to serve in the capacity without you micromanaging everything that's going on? Because when that stuff happened on the north end, it's no way. It's no way. They said, "Oh, the school resource officer's so old, they walk over him. They disrespect him." I'm telling you what they told me. Yeah, you got a chief, young and vibrant, can do the position, but no, 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 no. The allegations are you want to micromanage your chief. There's a breach in safety, and any parent who has a child who goes to the school should file a lawsuit based on what happened yesterday. That's danger. Your children, our children, check this out. They were placed in imminent danger. Imminent danger. It's unconstitutional what happened yesterday. You, it's a mandate. You're supposed to have a chief. Where was your chief yesterday? Answer me that. Where was your chief? You can't answer me that, can you? Well, let me ask your board. Hold on. Maybe your board can answer me. Because the board, I think they do the hiring and things like that. So maybe her board, as they say, maybe her board can answer me where and tell me where, the chief was on yesterday. Maybe her board, as they say, she refers to them, her board. If you look to the far right, on this very day, on this day that I was there in 2022, Carlos Palmer, who's on the right, attorney, Carlos Palmer, he serves as the board's attorney. And then you have the other members. He's the only one who's an attorney, but the rest of them are your board members. Do you see the behavior? Listen, they don't have a care in the world. Not a care, in my opinion. Not a care. Not a care. This is from yesterday. This is a picture from yesterday. That's not the chief from the school, honey, based on my research. Those are outside agencies on the campus, from what I'm told. And again, the comment came across. Mrs. Davis needs to let the chief be the chief. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. What do I mean? You do it your way, you get your results. And according to the streets, that's her board. Then went a step further and said, they do what I say do. Oh, wow. Got another comment. It's not a matter of if something major will happen, but when. And I still want to know, just like every other parent in the community, every stakeholder, where was your chief? See, let me tell you what happens. We tend to get emotional, caught up, and we zone in, and we take that thing and take it to the far left, and we forget to ask those other questions. Well, that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm here, to help you to formulate those questions. Because as a parent, I don't want anybody to be able to go on a campus and have my children feel like they can't walk around throughout the day. Oh man, they said teachers was even letting the kids out to go fight. What? Is that a certified teacher? Honey, who have you hired? And it is also said that you won't even hire people from the South End to teach, people with experience. I don't know, because anytime somebody say that's their board, I guess their board hires and does whatever they want. Now, I'm not here to point fingers and say, that nepotism is going on, and that, you know, uh, you hiring folks' sons back who was unrenewed, and going over the head of people who didn't want them back. These are allegations. I don't know. But from what I'm told, if you won't let the chief be the chief, allegedly, and this ain't the first time I've heard that. Okay. So there's been more than one chief, honey. And it's been said that you will not let them be the chief. You will not let them serve in the capacity. And it had even gotten down to a sexual scandal. Y'all, the stuff that I hear, I don't always say. Reliable sources. It had crossed my desk that it was a sexual scandal. Ooh, I'm just going to leave it right there. What you're not going to do is send out a text message through school status to the parents saying, hey, it's your fault. I don't know who approved that message. I don't know who advised you all and said, this is it. Put this out. Instead of saying it's our fault, let me be clear, since we got a B rating, that we dropped the ball, which starts with the letter B. Y'all dropped the ball. And on that yesterday, just alone, every parent at that school, every parent who got a baby at that school, I would file a lawsuit against you. That's just me. I will file a lawsuit against you based on the fact that there's no chief. And knowing that MDE said that it's a mandate, that you're supposed to have one. See, people, this is why you get to keep going on, getting along. But that's my cousin, that's my uncle, that's my auntie. Oh, we know her from hometown. That's not what the law says. The law says, where's your chief? Where's your chief? Where was the chief? Not today. Not today, because they don't fall break. Where was your chief yesterday? And then the text message came a day late and $1 short. Where was your chief yesterday? That should be the headline going across the newspaper. Where was your chief? Where was your campus chief? It reminds me so much of Uvalde. Because you know what? That's what all of my colleagues wanted to know. Where was the chief for the campus? Where was the designated person who you all said, hey, we want to recommend that this person gets hired and that they serve in the capacity of a chief? Listen, in Uvalde, they asked, listen, my colleagues, they said, where's the chief? Where the chief at? That's my question. And I beg all the parents to put a shirt on, say, where your chief? Where was your chief on such and such date? What was yesterday, the 10th? 11th? Where was your chief? Where was your chief? No, they rather point the finger and say, shame on y'all. Y'all know that, baby, it was a breach. There was a breach. And the state requires you to have a chief, requires you to have school resource officers. But you know what? When we emotional, you know what we do? We forget to ask where the chief was. We forget to ask that question. Well, that's why I'm over here. To tell the parents to go get you a shirt. Go and get anybody make y'all had them gentry shirts on for homecoming. Go get them same folks. Get you a shirt that said, "Where was the chief on this date?" You point the finger back at them because they are definitely coming for the parents. They coming for y'all. No, you don't lie down and take that mess. You said, "Where was your chief?" You ask the tough questions. Where? Because from what I'm told now, there was a workshop the same year that baby was kicked in the back of the head, ending going into the summer. How do I know? They say they had it at Gentry. I don't know. I wasn't there. Reliable sources. We can't break up no fights. We can't break up no fights. Okay. So where are your school resource officers? And how much are you paying them? Why would you cut the bus driver's pay? But allegations say that you told your SROs when they said we need a raise, allegedly, what y'all did to deserve something, deserve a raise. But you kept that same principal who worked under your leadership. And that baby was, man, I can tell y'all so much about this principal. The allegations don't stop. They decided to keep this principal. If I got somebody pregnant who, let me be quiet. If I took some seniors down to Florida and got in the, I'm a hush. Because they say, these are just some allegations. Y'all kept him. What he do to deserve it? I guess we would have to ask the board since they voted to keep him. The board was responsible for keeping that person. I imagine they didn't ask too many questions. There's some strong allegations floating around with that principal. I don't always say everything I hear. But that board to go and hire this man back, shame. If I had a cup of shame, I would pour it on you. I don't even think they sell it. They don't sell no cup of shame. But shame on you. Parents got a correspondence a day late and $1 short. Not a correspondence saying, "Hey, come and get your child." You have the option to come and get them. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Well, we don't want that because we don't want to lose our federal money. No, no, no. They're not going to say it like that. Well, we just don't want a safety issue. Well, the safety issue had already occurred. What are your entry points on that campus? Where is your chief? From now on, that's my only question. Where was your chief on yesterday? Matter of fact, let me type that up here. Because that's the $1,000,000 question. That's the $1,000,000 question. That's that there? There it is. There it is. Y'all see it. That's what the shirt needs to say. Where was your campus chief on yesterday? Because that's all it boils down to. There was a breach in safety, if you ask me. And this is not the only incident. Let me show you the demeanor of them again. I'm not making this up. I'm standing there talking. Nobody wrote a question down. Nobody wrote down any of my concerns to answer me. And the video is out there. You can go and watch the response. And the president of the board is the one who responded. And he filly faddled and didn't look at me and carried on and addressed the parents. Well, I'm a community stakeholder. I deserve the same amount of respect. I mean, it was just nasty. But she allegedly claims that that's her board. And that's the way they do things. I'm told by different people in the community that she says that's her board. And bold enough to say it to anybody who will listen. But it's time for change. It's time for some change.
Parents are reaching out to me, and also not just as a journalist, but as a stakeholder in the community, to find out that a lot of students didn't go to school today was heartbreaking. I understand that the parents are saying that they're not going to send the students the rest of the week. I have people come to me, and last school term, I had a parent to speak to me and say that her child was kicked in the back of the head. So the student was allowed a hearing, and it broke my heart. I hear Dr. Davis speaking with so much passion, but to pull up to her central office and see her leaving in her truck, that was heartbreaking. Okay, and also the parent informed me today that she has still not reached out. I know she's saying she's easily accessible, but she is still not checked on the welfare of the child who had been kicked in the back of the head from last year. Now, majority of the people who are having a problem, normally they're talking about the principal. I don't know who recommended for him to be the principal a new school year, but whoever recommended him felt that he was capable enough to do the job. And I don't know why, but we still have the same superintendent who is having the same issues that have yet to be rectified. And as a community stakeholder, it is heartbreaking to know that we're coming off the cusp of Uvalde, okay? And like the parent said a minute ago, is not going to bring them back. And I don't know if we should recommend take your parent to school with you day. I don't know what should be recommended, but I understand you're saying you're here for the parents. We do need to do this. We do need to do that. Okay. So I don't know what is going on, but what I would like to know is moving forward, what do you plan to do? And is he still going to be the principal?
And of course, he's still the principal from what I understand. Shout out to the board. Shout out to the board. Uvalde was real. The trauma surrounding the incident on yesterday was real. My colleagues on the nationwide scale wanted to know where the chief was for the campus. And when I tell you they kept driving that point, nationwide, worldwide. Where was the chief? See, I don't know if the superintendent was running that position. It makes me wonder who tied his hands, if they were tied, because that delay took forever. It was too long, especially when you have other outside agencies readily available to help save lives. And again, it got to the point where the parents, you can hear them say, I tried. They never should have had to try to save their baby. It was getting down to the wire, and the inevitable happened. Listen, these comments are saying, Ms. Davis need to let the chief be the chief. I'm scared for the next person who comes along. I am. When you look at the behavior, when you look at the demeanor of the people sitting in front of me as I was speaking? Hmm. What does that say? What does that say? Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Because I'm not saying the chief wanted to leave. From what I understand, she didn't want to go. The chief didn't want to leave. Okay. When you tie people's hands and don't allow them to operate in the capacity for which they have gone to school and gotten their certifications and continuing ed, you got to do continuing ed. And you're not allowing the person to, oh my goodness, I can only imagine what it was like working under this leadership. I'm catching hell. That's the only thing I can think of. It's like working for Pharaoh. Do what I say. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But I don't think the chief wanted to leave. But guess what? It was perfect timing because guess what? Then the chief would have been the fall guy for what happened on yesterday. If you know that you didn't have a chief, why didn't you guys get together, you and your board? Yeah, I'm sorry, the board, the school, the board for the whatever. Why didn't you all put out an advertisement saying, "Hey, we need somebody"? Because there's a mandate, from what I understand. You must have a chief. I I don't even know that an interim chief will suffice. But in Sunflower County, the word is it's Miss Davis' way or nobody's way. And get out the way. Because they gotta be. Yeah, they gotta be. They gotta be about to lose their mind if they think these parents and ask the right questions. It's you gotta be. You gotta be, you gotta be, you gotta be, we gotta be concerned enough to call this number on the screen, 601 359 1028. You listen, listen. This is not a matter of I like this person, I don't. I just do your job. Baby, I don't want your job. But I know somebody in Indianola, Sunflower County, who can do it a little bit better than you. And that's just my opinion. You're not the baddest thing walking in Sunflower County Consolidated School District. I'm sorry to bust that bubble, baby. It's not, you not, you not, you not. They lying to you. They lying to you. And I know people who say they went to school with her. Says she cares little about likability. So she don't care nothing about what I'm saying. And again, I don't not like her. Shoot. I like her. But listen, you got some people who can work at Burger King and some who can work in a central office, but she ain't one of them, in my opinion. Not if you're going to micromanage every little thing that the people who you say you trust to do it. You're not going to micromanage. And these are the allegations again. And in my opinion, you're not the baddest thing walking as it relates to education. Because, baby, I know some sisters can get your job today and take it on to an A. Because you got to be. But you got to be out your mind if you think that these parents are not going to call that number and ask about safety. Why was there not a chief yesterday? See, these are the important questions. That's what breaks my heart. They don't care about what broke my heart when that baby was kicked. They don't care about what broke my heart yesterday. It never should have happened. Now, I know Walmart is probably hiring. Um, Burger King, they got Jack's, they got, and they're not telling me to say, but I'm just telling you, it's other capacities that you can serve in where they would love what you're doing. But school district in Sunflower County, they don't need a have it your way mentality because it's not your way. We have to consider the people. You have to be transparent. Why didn't you divulge that there was a GUN? Huh? Why didn't you tell the people? No, I'm told they were too busy. Celebrate, celebrate. Woo, woo, woo. Celebrate, celebrate. We gotta be. Hey, but you ain't told nobody about the GUN. The headline for the paper should be this, because it never should have been a breach in safety. There should have been a message to go out yesterday, but it wasn't. You're a day late and a dollar short. And then when you send it out, you point fingers at the parents and the community stakeholders. And then you cushion the blow by saying, we got to do better. We do. But I don't think anybody thought before they sent that ghetto correspondence out. Very unprofessional, very ghetto. And again, Popeyes, Captain D's. I don't know about Miss Betty's place, but you can get the Delta Corner, Karen Freight. These folks are probably hiring. But to take a school district into your bosom and rock it like it's your baby and gloat that there's a B, when in actuality now, based on the data that I saw, that I looked over last night, that's just pre-COVID uh, data. We all know that they didn't count a lot of this stuff. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know. And based on your data, our babies are not ready. They're not college ready. I know they're ready to go, but based on the standards, the Mississippi Department of Education standards, that data that's out there that was sent to me, they're not ready. Then you close down the school in Inverness. Didn't care what the people had to say. Didn't care. We got to close it down. And I'm told that's where those high scores come from, right there in Inverness. I don't know. I followed that story. I got so much stuff in the archive that I mean, I dare not go pull it out. But what you're not going to do is not, you gonna answer us about where was the campus chief on yesterday. I need a press release on where that chief was yesterday. But guess what, guys? I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. Where was your chief on yesterday? Where was your chief on yesterday, parents? Y'all need to be asking these questions. And if you got some concerns about safety, there's a number you can call. These people are waiting. But now is the allegations that she is heavy in the state level. Look at there. Colleague. Not sure who she is, but it seems she's at state level. Hey, I just pray that we get this question answered. I pray we get the question answered. Huh? And if you're trying to leave a comment, I cannot see it if you're putting it on my personal page. And on that note, I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. Um, we cannot allow people to throw our parents under the bus. I am not for it. I am a parent advocate. And we never would have needed any of that to happen had security, school resource officers been in place. We never would have had that. There's a breach. There's videos out there. They constantly sending them to me. I refuse to play these videos because it would take me all day to redact. Because when we're talking about students, you can't put their faces out there unless you got permission. I'm not going to put those videos out there. But just know they are out there. And this is not the first instance or the first incident. And to send out a correspondence shaking your finger at the parents, I don't know who approved that school status. But if I was a parent, I would be asking, hey, where was the chief? Why didn't you send us this message yesterday? Why didn't we get a message yesterday giving us the option to come and get our babies? Nashville. I remember something happened in Nashville. They gave them the option to come get their babies. You should see, you go look at the videos, they're running across the street getting their babies. They didn't even have the option, to my knowledge. Nobody said anything about coming to get those children from the camp. And another thing I found out, the seniors are the only ones on the campus. The seniors are the only one due to renovation. They're the only ones. So that means the other school has the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen with the elementary students.
The UPS Store can help your small business with more ings than you realize. Shipping, packing, and boxing save you time for creating. Returning, printing, and shredding free you up to focus on designing. And notarizing, mailing, and mailboxing let you do more inspiring. For any ing you need, visit a convenient location near you and get back to playing. Every ing for small business, all in one place.
The UPS Store.
Our certified packing experts make returns easy. Stop in today and we'll handle the rest.
Visit your local UPS store at 1831 Martin Luther King Boulevard, Suite 125 in Greenville, close to Walmart.
If you don't want to hear it, don't ask. If you want to step in the lion's den, then let me roar. If you want to step in the lion's den, let me roar. You want to step in the lion's den? No, you stupid. So let me tell you, if you don't want to hear it, don't ask. If you don't want to hear it, don't ask. If you want to step in the lion's den, then let me roar. If you want to step in the lion's den, let me roar. You want to step in the lion's den? No, you stupid.
Okay, Miss Barnes, can you explain to me, why were you there that day and what happened? Why were you there?
We were supposed to be there for a board meeting, but again, it was canceled. It had been canceled 4 Tuesdays in a row. So we picketed. And the mayor's wife saw on Facebook where we were picketing, and she had the audacity to come up there in my face. I didn't go to her, mind you. She came to me in my face and asked me, what did her house have to do with it? And I asked her, I said, do you want to know? Are you sure you want to know? So I began to tell her what her house had to do with it. I say, y'all building on y'all house high and wide. I say, and the displaced citizen of Rolling Fork don't even have a house, a place to lay their head. I said, y'all house wasn't destroyed. Y'all could still stay in y'all house. I said, but the citizen of Rolling Fork don't have nothing. Don't even have a place to call home. I say, and y'all building up on y'all house, and she said it's called insurance. I say, well, the Bible say, don't let your good be evil spoken of. I said, y'all good is evil spoken of. And she called me stupid. She called me stupid, and I guess you know that raised a feather. And I told her, I said, well, if you step into the lion's den, then you let the lion roar. Because when you step in here, you expect to get what you got, what you came for, and that's exactly what I gave her. And she had the nerve to call me stupid. And when she called me stupid, I said, you stupid.
And those are some Rolling Fork concerns. We do know that Maggie Wade, just to shift gears briefly, Maggie Wade out of the Jackson area is also investigating what is going on in Rolling Fork. The powers that be are in question. The money that was allocated towards bringing the people home and getting FEMA trailers and getting the zoning properly done, that stuff is in question. Why is it that they are not at home? This is October now. We'll be in November in a minute. That tornado hit in March, if I'm not mistaken. And not only that, some more things that go along with the Rolling Fork concerns are the fact that some of the students flunked, as we say. Some of the students were failed, retained in the same grade after that type of catastrophic tornado. And so we got some more investigations coming along as it relates to Rolling Fork and the school system and the powers that be. How is it that if you are a superintendent, you have allegations out there floating around that you allow some of your students to fail? I don't know. I don't know how true it is. But you just heard from Miss Janet Barnes, and there's a Miss Diane Shelton also, who voiced her concern. And, you know, she was saying how, look, it's cool to get a $25 gift card here and there. It's all right. I'm not knocking it. But we need money. We need real money. We need real help. Let's take a listen.
Me. I just was asking, with me just living on this system of food stamps, can anybody help me financial? Anybody in the world? Yes, we fall down. And I'm just asking somebody to help me get back up. I'm not asking for a whole hand, just for a little help.
Okay. Now I want to welcome Miss Janice to the show. Barnes. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, Janet Barnes. Yes.
Janet, listen, I saw you on Good Morning America, that link, that clip as well.
Yeah.
And I want to play a video here that I was given permission to use.
Okay.
Doyle Hayes. And I want you to explain to the people. And I hear Miss Shelton explaining the frustration of being displaced. And
okay.
I also hear her say, hey, $25 gift card is fine. $50, I'm not knocking that. But we're talking about real problems and we need some real solutions. And she's saying that, if I heard her correctly, that she's being told that by the leaders, no names called, by the leaders at the water department, that she needs to refer back to other people in leadership in an effort to get some help. Now, I want to play a video that was brought to my attention, and you tell me, Miss Barnes, what this is about. Everybody, give me a second, and we'll be right back.
If you don't want to hear it, don't answer. If you don't want to hear it, don't answer. If you want to step in the lion's den, then let me roar. If you want to step in the lion's den, let me roar. You want to step in the lion's den? No, you stupid. So let me tell you, if you don't want to hear it, don't answer. If you don't want to hear it, don't answer. If you want to step in the lion's den, then let me roar. If you want to step in the lion's den, let me roar. You want to step in the lion's den? No, you stupid. So let me tell you, if you don't want to hear it, don't answer. If you don't want to hear it, don't answer. If you want to step in the lion's den, then let me roar. If you want to step in the lion's den, let me roar. You want to step in the lion's den? No, you.
Now, we do know that there are some other concerns that I have been covering. Another one that would be the Frito-Lay lawsuit that was brought against the company. There's a Mr. Reggie Ruffin out of Texas who grew up in the Jackson area, and he got an attorney, and he's alleging that the attorney dropped the ball. And so they're now having to start looking for another attorney to take the case. Let's take a listen to his case.
A Jackson family is taking on Frito-Lay in federal court, and they've won class action status for their lawsuit.
Yeah, at the heart of the case is whether a former worker died of asbestos exposure on the job. 12 News' Alex Love spoke with the family about what they're demanding in the lawsuit.
From 1974 to 1999, Jimmy Ruffin worked as a machine operator and pest control worker at the Jackson Frito-Lay plant. In 2010, he suddenly died due to lung cancer, and his son is leading the charge to prove it was due to conditions at his job. In a class action lawsuit filed earlier this year, Reggie Ruffin and several other Jackson families called on Frito-Lay to acknowledge the old worksite had asbestos and workers were at risk.
Families have gone through tremendous debts behind losing their loved ones. Some of these people had to pay for their own funerals because they didn't have any money. These families need to be not only financially compensated, but at least have some appreciation shown. Frito-Lay has made billions of dollars off the backs of these employees, and then they just throw them away and discard them like tools.
While employed, Reggie claims his dad, Jimmy, worked with pesticide spray leading to mesothelioma exposure shown in his medical records. In other parts of the country, lawyers have also pointed to Frito-Lay buildings containing asbestos.
They said most of his right lung was gone, and his left and part of his left was still remaining. And that was just a very sombering time. And it's, as you see, it still bothers me even to this day.
In the lawsuit, Ruffin listed damages Frito-Lay must compensate his and other families for lost earnings, loss of inheritance had his father still been alive, and emotional pain and mental anguish.
The main thing I put in my argument is how Frito-Lay broke the law by not informing anyone. The possible exposure and risk, because then Frito-Lay would be responsible for the care for the employees.
Mississippi has a 3-year statute of limitation on asbestos and mesothelioma claims, but Ruffin's attorneys are pointing to the families not knowing about these diagnosis connections until very recent as a loophole. In all, 7 other families are part of this class action lawsuit, and Reggie urges anyone else who believes that they too are victims to contact his organization, Just Cause Coalition. You can find that information on our website, WJTV.com. We reached out to Frito-Lay for comment on their end and the process for internal asbestos claims. They responded with the company does not comment on pending litigation. Back to you at the desk.
Now here is a married couple out of the Missouri area who alleges that Frito-Lay put a private investigator on them after her husband, who served in the military, comes home and decides to work for the company. And this is just a snippet. He was electrocuted. He's alleging that he was electrocuted while he was on the job. And he had to call in, he says, to take a day off because he was not allowed time to heal. Well, when one of the state representatives found out, or congresswomen, when they found out what was happening, they were able to get the word out, and they set up a GoFundMe page for this family. And they had gotten down so low, and this man was he was working, he said, like so many hours per week, per day, making certain that he was, doing what they wanted him to do. And then this happened. It's like it took a turn for the worse. And so here's a video on that.
In 4 days, that account has raised more than $85,000.
I'm very, very grateful. I don't have words. I don't know what to say, but thank you.
I can't even fathom the words, to be honest.
I have a glimmer of hope. Like, I never thought that people would care this much.
In Florissant, Holden Kerwicki, 5 on your side.
Ingram say they are currently in the midst of a workman's comp suit against Frito-Lay. We reached out to the company for comment on this story. They have yet to respond to our calls and emails.
Had people to reach out to me. They have reached out to me on other social media sites saying that they had grandchildren to work for the corporation, and they are alleging that they don't care about their workers, whether they are black or white. Just want to wrap this thing up. That was just letting you know some of the things that we have been covering. And today, Colorado is going to play Stanford. And I just wanted to, for those who don't know that we are over here rooting for Colorado. Coach Prime, I call myself Coach Dine. I want you guys to meet me back in the press box so that we can talk a little bit about the game. I try to bring the game to you 5 minutes before it's over with to get the feel for the nature of the game and how it's going. Shadur Sanders is Coach Prime's son. Shiloh, we got Travis Hunter. I believe Travis Hunter has been cleared to play. We know that he had a lacerated liver. He took a nasty hit several weeks ago when they played against Oregon. Was it Oregon? I can't remember, one of his teams. But anyway, he's supposedly cleared. I don't know if he's going to play today. And we're talking about young men who are student athletes. And a lot of people have been complaining because they're saying in the Pac-12, the people who are playing, they're in their 30s, playing up against, regular student athletes. And again, they are students. Here's some of my information right here.
Ladies, are you tired of being lonely? You want to date a man who loves football or is a football player? No fear. Coach Dime is here to help you get your MRS. Coach Dime has a basic training package available that is free of charge, where you learn about offense and defense. Baby, you're going to learn how to hug and kiss your way to the altar with those X's and O's. Let Coach Dime explain. Don't forget, Tom Brady is up for grabs, but Tyrone down the street is too. You'll have off-the-cuff remarks like, "Ooh, touchdown. That line of scrimmage show is pretty. Did you see that?" And much, much more. Go on and sign up for the course. You'll be so glad you did. At the end of the course, you get to print out your certificate of completion. And when you snag them, don't forget to send Coach Dime an invitation to your wedding. Go get them, girls.
So, Tom, do you think a college kid needs a Phantom, like a Rolls Royce?
Nah, hey, no, it's not a Phantom. It's a Rolls Royce Cousin.
I think he needs to get his ass in the film room and spend as much time in there as possible.
Thank you,
and less
Tom.
time in the car and more time in the film room.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate
And I
that.
seen you have one too, Tom. Don't think I seen.
I was just a rental. Hey, I had a few bucks in my pocket at that point. I'll see some car stores when we're together next time.
Is it possible that Tom Brady could see something up the road?
Yeah. On that note, we're going to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's not forget about little baby Murray.
The 11-year-old boy in Mississippi who was shot in the chest by a police officer after he called 911 for help. Tonight, Adarian Murray describing the moment police told him to come out with his hands up. His family wanting to know why the officer then opened fire. Here's ABC's DeMarco Morgan.
It's been barely a week since 11-year-old Adarian Murray was shot in the chest inside his own home by Mississippi police responding to a call for help.
I ran across the corner and then I just got shot.
How did you come out of the room?
I came out doing this.
What did it feel like?
It felt like a taser, like a big punch to the chest.
Adarian himself calling 911 when he awoke to fighting at 4 in the morning last week. His mother's ex-boyfriend, who she says had been violent previously, showing up at the family's home. The officer who ultimately fired his gun showing up not long after.
Once he was like, come out with your hands up, at that moment is when my son came out.
Why that officer pulled his trigger remains unclear, and city police are not commenting.
He was like, I don't want to die. That's what he was saying. While I was on the ground, I said, you're not gonna die, baby. You're not gonna die. Just keep talking.
Adarian treated in the ICU for collapsed lung and a cut on his liver. Lucky to be alive.
Well, tonight, Adarian is in good spirits, but says he sometimes has trouble breathing. His mother telling me she wants that officer that shot her son charged. He remains on paid leave. Whit?
DeMarco Morgan for us. Thank you. And DeMarco will have much more of his interview with 11-year-old Adarian Murray tomorrow morning on Good Morning America and then later on GMA3.
And let me show you one of the baddest attorneys to ever do it. One of the baddest attorneys to ever do it. We call what you see happening in Indianola the Moore effect. People, the world is now witnessing the Moore effect. Let's not ever forget about what happened to little baby Murray. Still waiting for the body cam footage to be released for what happened to little baby Murray that night. Court date was moved. It was supposed to be this month, the beginning of this month. We are still continuing to develop the story, to follow the story. And if you look to your right, you see that is Attorney Carlos Moore, who represents the Cochran firm. of the Mississippi Delta. And if I got time today was a person, he is definitely one of them. Okay? We're talking about Attorney Carlos Moore. Okay? He got time. He got time today. Thank you so much for supporting the Mike Magazine. We want you to like, subscribe, follow, support this page. We do have a Cash App, $MICTV. You can scan the QR code that is on your screen. I have sister affiliates, the Jackson Advocate newspaper, which I have a couple of stories coming out this week as it relates to the Frito-Lay allegations, and also Copiah County. We have Greenwood Live, G-Wood Live, Greenwood Mornings with Mr. Lee Hall. Those are my sister affiliates. And if you can look straight ahead, you'll see that is Mr. Jerry Mitchell on the cover. Jerry Mitchell has been making some news, man. He has been breaking some stories too. We've been doing the Rankin County situation with the Goon Squad. Jerry Mitchell just came out. Listen, he represents Mississippi Today. He also has an investigative side where he does all of the investigation. Whenever I do a story, people, I send my story right there to Jerry Mitchell. Whenever I do anything, I send it to Mr. Jerry Mitchell. And he's an author. He got the nod from John Grisham. And I'm trying to encourage him to come on out with another book. You can actually listen to Jerry Mitchell's book, Race Against Time, on, what did we listen to it on? Kindle, Amazon, I can't remember, but it's available, and he's doing the voiceovers throughout the book. And when I tell you this is a great book, let me tell you who Jerry Mitchell is. Jerry Mitchell is the guy in Ghost of Mississippi. He's that journalist who would not go away. And he's the one he's the reason why they actually brought justice to Mrs. Murley Evers' husband in his death. They were looking for the weapon. They could not find the evidence. And somebody trusted Jerry Mitchell enough to say, hey, we know where that weapon is. And he got it. They got the weapon. They told Jerry, people talk to Jerry Mitchell right here in Mississippi. And he's just now breaking another story, people. And that story is, and I want you guys to go out to Mississippi Today and look it up, because they broke the welfare scandal right here in Mississippi. Jerry Mitchell. Whenever I do anything, it's going through Jerry Mitchell. He knows what I'm working on. Whenever I'm working on anything, and Jerry Mitchell goes out and people tell him extra stuff that they wouldn't tell me, right? And he drives it down to the bone. So now the latest article out is that the Rankin County Sheriff is now being paid more than the governor of of Mississippi. He's been paid more than the governor of the state of Mississippi, right? And 2 weeks after, check this out, Jerry Mitchell found out that 2 weeks after Michael Corey Jenkins was shot in the mouth and sexually assaulted, he and Michael Parker, he found out that 2 weeks later, Sheriff Lion Brian Bailey, is what he's been dubbed as by Brother Kareem, he got a raise. They gave him $20,000 raise or something, $10,000 or $20,000 raise. Then they appointed him to some safe room, and now he's asking to be removed. Check this out. I wouldn't know this had Jerry Mitchell not drove that story on down to the bone. He's asking for immunity. He's asking to be removed from the federal lawsuit. Now, the Goon Squad, they're now locked up. And I would, if I was a part of those families, I would be hurt to know that the sheriff of Rankin County is now asking for immunity. That would hurt me. That would hurt me. As a mother, a wife, a sister, why would you need immunity after all of this has happened to our loved ones? Why should you be removed from a federal lawsuit? Hey, y'all better watch Jerry Mitchell. because Jerry Mitchell in Mississippi Today, hey, I am honored that he was on the cover of Mike magazine. Right now, we do have attorney Malik Shabazz on the cover of the Mike magazine, and he's gracing our cover, and you can see that on the page. Bad attorney out of Maryland, who is has Mississippi roots, but was bad to, when I tell you bad to the bone, bad to the bone. And he's from Maryland. And the only other bad attorney I know who is from Mississippi is this attorney you're looking at right here, Attorney Carlos Moore. When I say to the bone, listen, if it's a bone in your body and it's bad, just name it Carlos, because that's who he is. He bad to the bone right here in Mississippi. Went to the same university that Crump went to. Great friends with Crump. Crump is now fighting up against the music industry, saying that they are robbing the artists blind. So he's going to go after some of these record companies, record labels, distribution deals that have been given out and things like that. They're going to bring justice for the people in the music industry. But again, if it's a bad bone in your body, you can name it Carlos Moore, because this boy is bad to the bone. I'm talking about the bone, marrow area. He's just bad. Don't forget, there's an event on Sunday. And on that note, we want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey, and Shaquille Johnson is running for office. So y'all get ready to see some of her commercials coming through here. You're going to hear more about her. You got Mr. Bryant Kimbrough, who is running. I don't have his information. And Kenneth Rags, they are running for the school board. But Wilson Johnson is running for supervisor in Sunflower County. So get ready to get set and go and vote. That's all you got to do. Get ready, get set, go and vote. And on that note, I got to go. Thank you guys so much for spending this much time with me. Please share this video. And I'm out.
What you're doing right now, and download the G Wood Live app. It's absolutely free. There's no cost. I'll say it again. It's absolutely free. It's your way to stay connected and stay involved in the community. Download the G Wood Live app on your Apple or your Google Play. Stay connected, stay positive, stay involved. Download the G Wood.
I am the largest.
The oldest.
I am the baddest.
The boldest.
I am protecting our voting rights.
And our environment.
I am ending racial profiling and fighting HIV/AIDS.
I am advancing economic equality.
And equality.
For all.
I am.
I am.
I am.
I am NAACP. Are you?
Get involved, stay involved. Ask Tasha Parker how to join the Greenville, Mississippi, Washington County chapter, 66252. For the latest in news, sports, interviews, and weather updates, tune in to the Mike Magazine with Angela Buckner. Be sure to go and download Miss Tiffany's He's Been Good. This is her new hit single, and she is on the cover of the Mike Magazine. She's Angela Buckner here, the voice behind the mic. The Mike Magazine went on the road to Rolling Fork to get first-hand information about the EF4 tornado. Red Cross and the CERT team got together and was able to render immediate emergency relief.
Ms. Tripp, why are you here today?
I work with the Red Cross, and there's been a large amount of devastation in the Mississippi Delta. So we're just here working with in partnership with community and other organizations to try to help restore, rebuild, and recover post-disaster.
How long will you guys be here?
So it's not, we haven't predicted yet. You know, this was a pretty extensive amount of damage done. We are a short-term recovery organization. However, short-term recovery is based on the size of the disaster, so we really don't know the specific date yet, but we are definitely here until we fulfill our mission as a Red Cross.
Can you talk a little bit about the death toll? Do you know anything?
We do know that the total has exceeded 20 as of now. We don't have an official count, but we do know it has exceeded over 20. And we bring spiritual care, mental health as well in it, in addition to the recovery aspect and sheltering.
Will there be grief counseling?
Absolutely. And we have other organizations like Region 8 who partner with us for that, as well as the VA for veterans. We even have the local organizing committee who we work in partnership with. So a lot of organizations that we're working with so that we can all do what we do for the community.
Thank you.
The impact from the tornado caused several organizations to pitch in.
Talk a little bit about the community emergency response team. From what I understand, and tell me if I'm wrong, these are citizens who are trained on how to help in situations like this.
Yes, we are just so excited and grateful for the opportunity to have a team from Washington County that has understood the importance of having a trained team. We understand it with the local organizing committee, and our motto is that it's not if there's going to be a disaster, but when there's the disaster, will we be prepared? And we come here today prepared.
Why it's so important to recruit for times like this prior to devastation?
Well, the organization itself is called the Community Emergency Response Team. So that in itself explains why recruitment is so important. You need your citizens to be there to respond to emergencies that happen within your community and surrounding areas. And this is just, I mean, it's unfathomable, the damage that's here now, but to have more manpower to be able to assist people as much as possible is vital.
What can be expected of the CERT team?
Whatever it is that we need to do, all hands on deck. Maybe we may have to distribute something or put some supplies up, store some supplies, unpack some supplies from people's cars, sort things, a variety of things. But we've been trained. We have a good 6 months worth of training. So wherever they call us and throw us, we can go.
The Mike magazine did ride around later on that evening with the CERT team. CERT team was called back to set up shelter. They were also interviewed by the Washington Post. Once the team did arrive back to the shelter, the Mike magazine did bump into Sherrod Reed, who had this to say.
Please, if you're going to come to these areas, I know everyone wants to see. I know you really want to see it. I get it. But we're asking you, as emergency responders, we really need these highways cleared. Probably tomorrow we're going to divert traffic, so you won't be able to do what you were doing today. So it is probably going to be a little bit more hectic for you, but easier for us on the response.
There was also an organization from Canton, Mississippi, who pitched in to help. Angela Buckney here, the voice behind the mic. You or a loved one been locked up? Then there's no need to worry. Pew Bail Bonding is available 24/7. Call licensed bail agent Angela Simpson today, 662-207-2077. And remember, if the law mess with you, Angie Simpson will come get ya, 662-207-2077.
And again, please, I'm standing 10 toes down with Bryant Kimbrough and Kenny Rags for Sunflower County School Board members. Please go and vote for them. Bryant Kimbrough and Kenny Rags.